Today we are reviewing the Nutrience Subzero puppy, and this is a dog food that claims to be very high in protein, which is something quite unusual sometimes in manufacturers. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of the actual review, I want to share some of the knowledge that I have been acquiring in regards to puppy food and some of the ingredients you want to look out for and some of the ingredients you really do not want in your puppy's diet. And this is arguably more important than this or that food that we are going to be reviewing. Now, there are very good ingredients that you can give your puppy from an early age. Anything meat, anything meaty, anything high in protein is arguably what they need. If we look at those amino acids in protein, those are the building blocks of your puppy, and that is what's going to give your puppy a good start in life. Conversely, there are so many ingredients we want to stay away from, and let me guarantee you, if you stay away from these, your puppy will lead a very healthy life. I am talking about wheat, corn, barley, soy, meat and animal derivatives, sugar, anything rice, anything grain. Too much carbohydrate in a food is a very bad idea for your puppy. So if you can stay away from too many carbohydrates in your dog's diet, whether they come from peas, potatoes or wheat gluten, the better. Having said that, let's get into the video. Now, I am going to review the Subzero Fraser Valley high protein puppy food. Now, the first thing I want you to do from now on, and it's another killer piece of advice, is for you to read the ingredients for everything you give the dog. I want you to ignore all labels. I want you to ignore everything anyone says about dog food and for you to read the ingredients. Why? Manufacturers cannot lie in the ingredients list. They can very adequately put things like meat and animal derivatives, which is extremely vague, but they cannot lie, or they shouldn't lie, on the ingredients list. So for you to read the ingredients list, that has to be and become your holy grail from now on. Having said that, let's look at the ingredients of this food. The ingredients are, we have deboned chicken, deboned turkey, we have chicken meal, we have turkey meal, and the difference is that deboned chicken and deboned turkey are of better quality than chicken meal and turkey meal. Meal is quite unspecific, whereas deboned chicken, that means that the chicken has been deboned and put into the blender, which is arguably better quality and more expensive than chicken meal or chicken carcass, for example. We then have salmon, chicken liver, we love all those tidbits, chicken heart, turkey liver, turkey heart, herring, cod, cod liver, peas, red lentils, chicken fat, sweet potatoes, chickpeas, whole eggs, etc, etc. Now, anytime you look at a dog food, the first few ingredients should always be meat, should always be meat ingredients. Meat ingredients is what costs money. What I do tell people is that 1 kilo of lamb will always be more expensive than a kilo of potatoes, a kilo of peas, a kilo of rice, or a kilo of wheat gluten. So I want you to spend your dollars. I want you to spend your money where it counts, and where it counts is in meat sources. So anytime you look out for a food, I want you to look at the ingredients, and those first few ingredients should come from animals, and they should say, as on this occasion, deboned chicken, deboned turkey, chicken heart, turkey liver, salmon, herring, cod, cod liver, and those are incredible. Not only your dog needs meat, they also need organ meat and things like bone, for example. So if you see any offal, any liver, any spleen, any chicken wings, for example, anything with at an organ meat, that is phenomenal. That's incredibly nutritious for your puppy. Bear in mind that a dog's diet should comprise of 80-10-10 roughly, where 80% should be lean meat, 10% should be organ meat, 5% liver and 10% bone. And with everything we give our puppies, we should be striving to replicate, to mimic those ratios as closely as possible. So with Nutrience Subzero Puppy, we see high quality ingredients, everything is clearly labeled, we don't see any grains here, and any carbohydrates we see tend to be quite low in the glycemic index. Sweet potato, we see alfalfa, we see pumpkin, freeze-dried pumpkin, which is pretty good, and then we see your blueberries and cranberries and pomegranate, which again, a vegetable is much better than rice, for example. Not because a food is grain-free, necessarily it is better. It isn't necessarily better. It all comes down to the ingredients. Now, they have also created two other products that I can see for puppies. One is the healthy puppy food, the chicken, the nutrients infusion, and this has a list of ingredients which is slightly worse than the Subzero category. We see deboned chicken and chicken meal, which is okay, but then we get into the green peas, pearl barley, red lentils, steel cut oats, chicken fat, natural chicken flavor, which is something I don't like. I'd rather you get the real McCoy than a chicken flavor, than a flavor of the real deal. We always want natural things as opposed to the natural flavor of the thing. We have freeze-dried chicken liver, which is pretty good, salmon oil. We then have alfalfa meal and carrots, spinach, broccoli, pumpkin. So for these food to be slightly cheaper than the other one, they have diluted down the amount of meat they put into the blender, into the recipe. So we see that the first two ingredients are chicken, deboned chicken and chicken meal, but then green peas and pearl barley and red lentils and oats, those are all carbohydrates, those are all fillers, and again, oats are always cheaper than chicken. So if you must choose, always choose a high meat content food for your puppy. I do understand that money might be tight, so it is a give and take when it comes to dog food. The one thing I do not like is the natural chicken flavor. I don't like flavors as opposed to the real thing because it's a layer of complexity, is another layer of processing in the kibble, and it's not something I like. The one thing I do like is that they still put things like chicken liver and salmon oil, which is phenomenal for your dog. And the third variety for puppies they make is the nutrient healthy puppy food, and this is the original. This is the chicken meal with brown rice. Now, anytime you see something with rice or with brown rice, that I become highly suspicious of. Why? Because rice is a grain. Dogs don't have salivary amylase to break down starches in the mouth, and I don't think brown rice or rice for that matter is biologically appropriate for a dog. They do not have the jaws to be able to masticate rice. If you ever see a dog eat rice, you will see that that food is not biologically appropriate. It is slightly hard for them to eat and digest. That's why I don't like grains. Plus, rice needs to be cooked in order for your dog to be able to absorb it. So rice is not something I like. Nevertheless, the ingredients are chicken meal, which is the most vague source of meat. And then we go into brown rice, oatmeal, green peas, chicken fat, beet pulp, egg product, not egg, but egg product, natural chicken flavor, that's a no from me, flaxseed, bruised yeast, and salmon oil. And then we have your blueberries, your cranberries, your carrots, your vitamins, and that sort of thing. Now, this is the lower quality food that they make for puppies, and it's something I wouldn't recommend for your puppy. Again, chicken meal, the first ingredient is a meat source, and that is okay. But then brown rice, green peas, and oatmeal are the following 3 ingredients. So 1 meat source and then 3 grain or filler ingredients. That's not something I want for your puppy. I want your puppy to have a high meat content, low carbohydrate diet. And so the best thing you can do for your puppy's health is watch this video next, because I break down everything you need to know about your dog's nutrition.